While new EVs seem to be taking a breather right now, many automakers still see them playing a very big role in the future of the automotive industry. To preview its next generation of fully electric SUVs, Genesis has just unveiled the Neolun concept. Hey, I'm Creech, and this is Creech and Cars, where I talk about car news, history, and culture. In this video, I'll be taking you on a tour through the Genesis Neolun, which means new moon. We'll take a look at the exterior and interior design, and then I'll go over the mechanical and performance specs. Finally, I'll discuss how this concept may actually affect Genesis's future production SUVs. Starting with the exterior, it's clear that this is a concept that is intended to reach production. There's nothing outrageously futuristic, and overall the Neolun looks modern but still classy and elegant as it takes on Genesis's design language. As I've said before, lighting is becoming a major aspect of modern and future car design, and I like what Genesis has done with the front end lighting here. It's essentially two giant light bars that form a wing-like outline emulating the Genesis logo. The two lines continue past the front fenders, which would be the turn signals like other current production Genesises. There aren't any visible headlights on this concept. The lights are sort of integrated into the light bar itself, so that's one major change you could see on a production model to get it more in compliance with regulations. There is also a nice lower grille design up front and a couple of hood lines, but it's mostly sleek and smooth as we come around to the side. The digital side view mirrors are unobstructive to the design, and they almost match with the lighting on the quarter panels. We can also see a hefty amount of chrome accenting on the Neolun, with the skirt that traces the bottom and especially around the window frames. To top it all off, there are large chrome wheels that are reminiscent of the Maybach monoblocks. Over the past 15 or 20 years, luxury automakers have sort of been moving away from chrome as it's become sort of tacky looking over time, but here it's a little muted and has more of the aluminum-like sheen to it, and I don't think it looks bad at all. The rear end is clean and simple with just a couple of light bars, and Genesis is written out below the rear glass. Let me know what you think about this design. Personally, I really like it. I think it looks as high-end as a Bentayga or Maybach GLS, and it's not overstyled at all. Heading inside, we are confronted by ultra-luxury inspired coach doors. I don't want to say the S word on YouTube, but it definitely makes you think of a Rolls-Royce right off the bat. One big difference between this and the Cullinan is the lack of a B-pillar. This wouldn't fly on a production model, but Genesis claims it does plan on bringing these coach doors to the production model. There are also some power deployed steps that make access effortless. The interior itself appears to be farther from production compared to the exterior. This interior is dominated by this purplish midnight blue color, and while the seats and other surfaces use the traditional leather that you would expect, many other surfaces are finished with cashmere. The dashboard is more minimalistic with the large monitor-like screen that rises from the center. There are some physical buttons and some steering wheel mounted controls, but overall it sort of looks like a typical electric vehicle interior. The center console does look interesting, but it's all gloss black, so it would be a whole new level of fingerprint magnet. This console continues into the back, as you would expect for an ultra-luxury SUV, and there are only 2 rows of seats, despite this being the same size as the EV9 or upcoming Ioniq 9. This was done so that 4 passengers can ride in absolute comfort and have a ton of space. The floor is made from real wood, and that combined with the swiveling front seats help give the Neolun a luxury living room-like feel. The door panels and seats have a plush quilted look, and there are a couple of ceiling mounted screens for rear passenger entertainment as well. There are a couple other unique features inside, like the use of heat films throughout on the floor, door panels, center console, and seats. Genesis says this is a much more efficient way to heat the interior, which is especially important for electric vehicles as the heat can really zap a lot of the power from the battery. Genesis has also put a lot of thought into the sound system in here. There's an elaborate array of tweeters, mid-range speakers, woofers, and subwoofers situated all around the cabin that truly creates an immersive audio experience. Underneath it all, we don't know much about the powertrain right now. Genesis hasn't made any performance claims, and this concept is more of a design study for the upcoming model. That model will likely be the GV90, a full-size, fully electric 3-row luxury SUV that Genesis is planning on bringing to market within the next 2 to 3 years. As far as the exterior design, I think the GV90 will end up looking pretty similar to the concept we have now, with some changes here and there to make sure it complies with all regulations, of course. The big differences will come on the interior, where things like the wood flooring, swiveling seats, and lack of air vents just aren't ready to be featured on a production vehicle right now. There will still be a lot of really cool features, like some of the things we've seen on the compact GV60. These are things like the biometric recognition, digital side mirrors that are available overseas, and the crystal sphere. Unlike the GV60, the GV90 should have far better performance numbers considering its size. I think Genesis will target the likes of the Tesla Model X and Lucid Gravity, which would mean an all-wheel drive setup powered by 2 to 3 motors that total at least 400 to 500 horsepower, while also getting 300 miles of range. To be competitive with the growing number of players in this field, Genesis will need to offer the GV90 with a base price under, or at least not too much over, $80,000. Stay tuned in on the channel, as I definitely plan on making a video detailing the upcoming GV90 once more information begins to trickle out about the actual production model. As for now, this is all we have to get a glimpse of the future of Genesis SUVs. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of the other videos on the channel and subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.